Hello, peeps, and welcome to another power-packed Phillips podcast.
Please take a minute to read your essays. And don't forget, we did problems 6 through 10 during online tutoring last night. So problems 1 through 5 and problems 6 through 10 are posted in Blackboard for your ESC review pack this week. See why?
What's the matter? You don't understand Morse code? Oh, sorry. That was Morse code for this would be lesson 6.4, Solve Compound Inequalities, Part 2. If you would, please take a moment and copy down the inequality on your paper. The first thing I suggest is that we put a coefficient of 1 in front of the variable n. So here is our coefficient of 1. Well, not quite the sound effect of our Hydra three-headed dragon, but you get the point. This is going to be a lot like yesterday's podcast, where we have an inequality that we're going to divide into 3 parts, like our three-headed dragon here. First thing I would do is I would solve this inequality like it is an equation. So let's do the distributive property first. So we said we're going to do distributive property first. I'm going to do negative 2 times 1n, and I'm going to do negative 2 times a negative 10. When I distribute that, negative 2 times 1n gives me negative 2n. Negative 2 distributed times a negative 10 gives me positive 20, because a negative times a negative is a positive. The bad guy is leaving town. Everybody is happy. Now, I'm going to copy down the rest of my problem and bring down my inequality symbols.
Wow!
I know, I amaze myself sometimes.
Get out!
Sorry about that. My kids were bothering me. I was telling them to get out of the room in a kind and loving way so I could finish the problem. And when I told my kids to get out, they said,
Yes, Daddy.
alrighty, here we go. Now we're going to do hearts and stars. We're going to combine like terms. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 7n minus 2n. They are both inside my lines, so I'm just going to straight up do 7n minus 2n. I'm not doing the inverse here because I'm not going across the lines. Since I'm not going across the lines, I'm just going to do 7n minus 2n, which gives me 5n. Copy down the rest of the problem. Copy down your inequality symbols. The next thing I'm going to do is get my stars together. I'm going to do the inverse of adding 20, which is to subtract 20. Notice I'm going to subtract 20 on all 3 parts of the problem. So I subtract 20 here, I subtract 20 here, I subtract 20 there. These will cancel. They're going to cross each other out. And then we are left with 15 minus 20, which is negative 5. Bring down my 5n. 35 minus 20 gives me 15. Now I want to get n by itself, so I'm going to divide all 3 parts of the problem by 5. Why am I dividing by 5? Because these are touching each other, and that means multiplication, so I do the inverse. Divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. These will cancel. Negative 5 divided by positive 5 is negative 1. Bring down my inequality symbol. Bring down my n. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Sorry, I bet you didn't know I could beatbox. I at least try. So the question we have now is, do we flip the inequality signs? Drum roll, please. And the answer to that question is no, we did not divide by a negative number, so we do not flip the inequality symbols. Yes, I divide it, but I divide it by a positive number. We only flip if we divide by a negative number. So let's ask ourselves, what's going on with this inequality? Well, remember that Pac-Man eats the bigger number, so Pac-Man is eating the letter N. So this right here means N is greater than or equal to negative 1. Over here, Pac-Man is eating the bigger number, which is 3, so this means N is smaller than or less than 3. Ask yourself, are we going to have an open circle or a closed circle? Well, this tells me that this side will be a closed circle because it's equal to. This tells me it will be an open circle because there is no equal to underneath. So let's graph it. What numbers are greater than or equal to negative 1? Notice that right here we have our closed circle above negative 1. 0 is greater, 1 is greater, 2 is greater. However, I need an open circle right here at 3, and I need to know the numbers that are less than 3. 2 is less than 3, 1 is less than 3, 0 is less than 3, negative 1 is less than 3. So my shading for this inequality goes between negative 1 and 3. Congratulations, you did it. You just graphed a compound inequality. See ya.